If you want to travel to Canada to work, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to teach you how employers in Canada can sponsor you for free. Now, to be able to work in Canada, you will need a work permit. We have two types, the permanent types, the PR. Examples of the PR, we have the express entry programs, provincial nominee programs, and then the piloting programs. The temporary types, we have the employer-specific work permit. This is when an employer in Canada want to sponsor you. Open work permit. This is when you have a spouse already in Canada, schooling or working in Canada. Then your partner can sponsor you through the open work permit. But in this video, we are going to discuss the employer-specific work permit. The Canadian government just made some changes how a specific employer can sponsor you for free. So how to get jobs in Canada? There is a new update on the Job Bank, the Canadian Job Bank. Job Bank is a platform created by the Canadian government where employers can advertise their job vacancies. Employers in Canada, we have two types. We have employers giving visa sponsorship. That is the LMIA. They give you a job offer plus a visa sponsorship. And then we have some employers in Canada giving you the offer only. Before you can get a work permit, the employer specific, you need a visa sponsorship. That is the LMIA plus a job offer. When employers advertise their jobs, Canadians can apply. People living in Canada having the permanent resident status can also apply. There are a lot of people already having temporary work permits. They can also apply for jobs. Visitors in Canada, people living outside Canada can also apply for jobs. The meaning of LMIA is Labor Market Impact Assessment. It is a document to hire a foreign worker. Canadians, permanent residents, do not qualify. They don't need it. LMIA is approved when no Canadian or a permanent resident apply for the job, because the Canadian government has made it in such a way that if you have a job vacancy, give it to the Canadians, the permanent residents. If you don't get them, before you can give it to other people. So if Canadians or permanent residents don't need the job, then the company can sponsor somebody outside. And that is what we call the LMIA. Somebody already with a work permit in Canada wouldn't need another sponsorship. Open work permit, they can just apply for any job and get job offer. They don't need sponsorship. Now, postgraduate work permit. This is a type of work permit given to students who graduate. Some of them may need a sponsorship. For instance, if you go to Canada to school for 1 year and then you get 1 year postgraduate work permit, after it expires, you will need a work permit, an actual work permit, to work for an employer. And so you will need an LMIA. Visitors in Canada, you don't qualify for the LMIA. In 2023, visitors were allowed to participate in the LMIA scheme. But 2024, they cancelled it. So now if you are a visitor in Canada, you don't qualify to get a sponsorship. If you want a sponsorship, then you have to come back home before you can apply. People outside Canada, of course, yes, you will need it. It is for you guys. People outside Canada, the employer is supposed to receive your job application and then they'll give you the employment offer letter. You look through the offer letter. If you are happy, then you sign a contract with the employer and then they sponsor you. They give you the LMIA document. Such employers are found on Job Bank. Documents to apply. You will need a Canadian standard resume or the CV, and then a well-written cover letter or the application letter. Additional documents per the employer's request. Some of the employers will ask you to do other certificates like the care certificates or even English proof. You have to use your secondary school certificate, your WASI, to prove English. If you have IELTS, then you can also use that to prove. How to pass the criteria. Language proof, I've already explained it, English or French. Then educational background. Some of the employers, they will tell you, even if you don't have any certificate, they can recruit you. But the question is, how do you prove English? You have to prove English with a test results, like the IELTS or your WAEC. So if you have no background in education, you don't have the WAEC, you don't have the IELTS, you cannot prove the first one. Recent and relevant work experience. You should be having a recent work experience in the vacancy that you are applying for. After that, you gather all documents like your financial support, you apply the visa, you book your ticket, you arrange for accommodation, and then you travel to Canada. This is the official website, the Job Bank website, Government of Canada, where you can search for visa sponsorship jobs, the LMIA jobs. You can search for any employer or any job title. Let us consider home care. So I just enter home. It's a keyword, all right? So I search. Now I got 5,160 results for home care jobs. I need to filter to get the relevant ones. Now, to be able to filter, this is the new update that the government just brought. That is why I did this video. You can see labor market impact assessment down there where the mouse. Look at your left hand side on the screen. At the last bottom, you're going to see labor market impact assessment. The LMIE, you need it to apply for the work permit. If you click on it, you're going to see pending LMIE, approved LMIE. Now, some of the employers have already applied for the LMIE document to give to you to join them. They have the application pending. So you're looking for such employers. And then some of them are having the applications approved. So they have the LMIE ready to give to any of you guys. So you click approved LMIE employers. Now you come to intended applicants. You can see intended applicants. Click on it. Canadians and authorized workers. I told you that people in Canada can apply for jobs. People outside Canada can also apply for jobs. So Canadian and authorized workers. Canadians are the citizens. Authorized workers, people having PR, students, temporary work permits, or the employer specific open work permit. All those in Canada having work permit, they are the authorized workers. You are not part. You don't click on that. The second option is Canadians and international candidate. Employers looking for Canadians and then international candidates. You are an international candidate. So you have to click on that. Canadians and international candidate. Now we have 80 results. Now all these jobs are home care jobs. And then they have their LMIA pending or their LMIA approved. So you can see pending LMIA written here. This job was posted directly on Job Bank with the employer having a pending LMIA. The date was February 28th, 2025. 2nd of April 2025 for this job, child caregiver, private home. Let us look at this, the first one, home care, home support worker. Now the company is Helping Hands Personal Care Home. That is the name of the company. They need 2 people, 2 vacancies. They're going to pay $19.54 per hour. Now they have a pending LMIA. The employer could not find a Canadian worker for this job. I told you that if they don't get any Canadian worker, then they can apply for the LMIA to give to you. So the employer could not find a Canadian worker for this job. And so they have applied for the LMIA to hire a foreign worker. Canadian workers, including citizens, permanent residents, are still encouraged to apply. Why is the government encouraging them? Saying that they are still encouraged. It means the employer advertised the job. They didn't apply. They were not encouraged. And that is why the employer is looking for somebody to get an LMIA for that person. And that is why the government is telling you that, oh, this employer advertised but couldn't find any Canadian worker. And so the employer has applied for LMIA to hire a foreign worker, a temporary foreign worker. And the government is still encouraging Canadians. But let me tell you, they will not apply. Because if they would apply, they would have applied long time. They wouldn't wait. Why are they now going to apply? It is for you. So if you see such an employer, look through the specifications. The employer need English, either trade certificate or diploma. Okay, so this one, they didn't say secondary school certificate. That means apart from your secondary school certificate, you need trade certificate. This is a care job. So you need to go online and do a care certificate. If you are a nurse, a midwife, you can use your midwifery certificate to use that to apply. You're going to do these tasks or responsibilities. Administer bedside and personal care, blah, 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 blah. All right, who can apply? You go here. Before that, advertise until. So today is 6th of June. This employer is waiting for 8th of June and then they'll cancel it. They need people by 8th of June. So 2 days time, the employer will just revoke the vacancy. Show how to apply. You click on it and then you're going to see an email over here. You need to apply with the email. Don't apply direct. I repeat, don't apply direct. I get people who don't listen to me. They try to apply direct and then they ask them to create a particular job bank account and they request for a Canadian banking information. You don't have a bank account in Canada, so don't apply direct. Apply through the email. You copy their email address and then you send the employer an email. The employer is saying that you need to include a reference number for them to know that it is this particular job. So when you are sending them an email, tell them, employer, I saw your job on Job Bank with a reference number HXW01. And then they will know that, oh, it is that particular job role. They need a Job Bank reference number. This is the Job Bank reference number. If you come here, you see the Job Bank ID. This is the Job Bank reference number. Hashtag 3243041. You understand? And then the employer also will need your cover letter. That is that. When you are writing your cover letter, you need to answer these questions in the cover letter. Are you available for the shift? Are you available for the advertised date? Are you currently legally able to work in Canada? Are you willing to relocate? So if they ask you, are you legally able to work? No, you don't have a work permit. So you tell them, no, you need a visa sponsorship. Are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to move from Ghana to Canada to work? You tell them, yes, I am ever willing to move to Canada to work. And then you apply. That is how it works. Now, job application is not a one-day job. I repeat, it's not a one-day job. You have to do it consistently. You have to apply and then apply. And then you saw that they have a deadline. So that particular job that will expire 8th of June, after 8th of June, another company will also advertise theirs. So you don't have to use one day and say that today I'm going to apply for 100 jobs and then you sleep waiting for them. No. You have to apply periodically, daily basis, weekly basis to get new employers to submit your resume and cover letter to them to apply the jobs so that you can increase or maximize your chances of them calling you. You have to apply. Some of them will call you for an interview. If they call you for an interview and they ask you to come to the company, alert them that you're not in Canada. You are outside Canada, so you want your interview virtually. And then they'll contact you through Microsoft Teams or Zoom or WhatsApp video call, do you the interview. If you pass, they'll give you the offer letter, you sign your contract, and then they'll get the LMI for you because they have the LMI pending. So when the government approve, they'll give it to you, and then you gather other documents like your passport, your police clearance, you do your medicals, your bank statement, and other relevant documents needed for a work permit. Apply for the permit, and then you move to Canada and then work for them. That is how to get free visa sponsorships. Now, these employers are not supposed to charge you. If you go on the Job Bank, I'll leave the exact link in the YouTube comment section. So if you're on TikTok or Facebook, come on YouTube, pick the exact link to the Job Bank website because they have different types of Job Bank. Some of them will ask you to pay money, 9.99 and other stuff. Job Bank shouldn't charge you. If an employer on Job Bank is charging you, they are not correct. Don't pay. Apply to different employers. Some of them will not charge you. They'll give you the offer letter and everything for free without you paying. If you know how to apply visa, I've taught that on my YouTube. You can apply for your work permit yourself. The price is 155 Canadian dollars, not up to 200 Canadian dollars. Then you do your biometric, 85 Canadian dollars. And then medicals, police report, and other stuffs. You add everything. Your plane ticket, most of the employers will even give you a plane ticket. Or sometimes you go there and they'll give you a relocation package, a sum of money at least to cater for the cost that you paid. So this is how to get a free visa sponsorship jobs. Today I taught home care. When you go to the search, if you are a carpenter, just enter carpenter. If you are a mason, hairstylist, enter your job, administrative assistant. And then the same way I filtered, at the left hand side, you just look at them, select the approved LMI and pending LMI, and then you go to the intended applicants, and then you select Canadians and international candidates. The results over there, all those employers can give you free visa sponsorship. This is Tips and Gist, your best travel educational platform. Now, if you need a resume and then a cover letter, I have a video on my YouTube. You can watch it. The links to the softwares or the websites that you can design your resume and then the cover letter is under that video. Click on it and then write your resume cover letter. If you are not able to write your resume and a cover letter, I can do it for you at a fee. It is not free. Even the subscription is not free. If you do it yourself, you will still pay for the subscription. So if you come to me, it is not free. I repeat, it is not free. This is my email. You can contact me through cv.tipsandgist@gmail.com. If you need a Canadian standard resume, a cover letter to apply for jobs, and then get visa sponsorship, and then fly to Canada and work with a particular employer. Bye-bye.